still, for the presence of the Lord, the Holy One is here.
So I want to start off with a psalm, a little reading if you let me. And it's been a guide for me all the way through, and I keep coming back to it all the time. It's from Psalm 27, and it's David speaking, and it says, "One thing I've asked the Lord, that I shall seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to meditate in his temple."
So we come to give God honour, Father, Son and Holy Spirit, and to acknowledge his presence and our need of that presence.
The weekend is incredibly important, but it's not what Cursillo is really about. So what is Cursillo really about? It's about the weekend, yes, but not entirely. It's about Ultreyas, yeah, great, but not entirely, completely and utterly. What it's really about, and I did my Cursillo because I'm 22, it means 22, it was in 2001, so we're talking 8 years ago, and I finally kind of worked it out. It's actually about the fourth day. And the fourth day is every day.
You gave a little seed and put it in the ground, spread a little love and cheer around.
To the first training day, and they were seeds. And during the training time, I and other people watched these seeds germinate and grow and produce blossoms. And at the actual Cursillo weekend, they sowed seeds themselves. And that was a wonderful experience to me. And the pilgrims, such delightful ladies, each a joy with whom's journey, and some amazing tales, some amazing stories, some amazing experiences. It all equals a total experience of Christ's action in us to promote the reality of God's promises.
Tell my people I love them.
It's my honour today to talk to you about my faith walk. It was while I was on team that I learned my second big lesson, and that was all about, and it's sort of been said already today, learning to really trust God, and then get the joy and wonder of being a vessel or a channel for the Lord. Because you can't presume what God's got lined up for you. And as I say, just be prepared for a sense of humour with the jobs that you'll be given. And from this I learned that life was all about doing the loving thing. And that's what I've tried to make my focus, to do the loving thing. As Mother Teresa said with such beauty, do the little things with great love. And that's something I can understand, and something I can focus on. While I'm quoting, there's another quote I'd like to share with you, and this time it's from Gandhi, and this one's really cool. You may never know what results come of your action, but if you do nothing, there will be no result. Things will happen in God's time, not ours. In the meantime, for me, my focus is on doing the loving thing wherever I can. I won't presume to tell you what your focus should be. But I'd like to leave you with the words of another man who was in jail, and that was Paul, in his letter to the Galatians chapter 5, verses 13 and 14. You, my brothers, were called to be free. Do not use your freedom to indulge in the sinful nature, rather serve one another in love. The entire law is summed up in a single commandment: love your neighbour as yourself. Thank you, Lord.
Tell my people that I care.
So, family, if we take the message of Cursillo seriously, I just some of the paths that he's walked, and may give you some interest in the path that you could walk. Where do we get the impetus when the 3 days have ended? I pick up Paul's theme. The word love was repeated many forms. doing the little things with great love. Many of us think that liking is a prerequisite to loving. Dick Shepherd, the rather eccentric vicar of East London, when he is known to be helping a rather old reprobate, was asked, "Do you love that fellow?" "Love him," said Shepherd, "of course I love him. Given another 6 months, I could even like him." Love in your heart isn't put there to stay. Love isn't love till you give it away.
Tell my people I love them. Tell my people that I care. When they feel far away from me, tell my people I am
more and more things have come together, and it's my theme is made in his image, and it feels very, very comfortable. We are made in his image, and for me that is a picture of not only is God holy and pure and blameless, of which I am none of those things, and he is of the very image of love, as we have been hearing again and again, over and over again this morning. And I think that is exactly the picture that each of us longs to live in, and is how he's created us. And that's really what I want to unwrap for myself and for the team, and then the pilgrims.
It's about the theme, about the amazing love of the Father, and how men today need to know that they have got their Father in heaven. They need to connect with him more, because he is able to lead and guide. Because as men, we seem to let our women take the roles which the men should be taking, and we need to draw closer to the Father, and in drawing closer to him, realise that, hey, there's nothing that we can't do with our Father walking with us, and it will be an interesting time, I think. Amazing love, how can it be that you, my King, should die for me?
To the faith-based unit to run another Terra Portal. So the pronunciation is Portal. To run another course, and translated, of course, that means the way of faith, and that's what we're doing. We're bringing the light of Christ into the darkness, because Satan thinks that's his place. In prisons, Satan thinks that's his ground. Well, we've got a story for him. I'm afraid it's not. And on the last 2 years, we've been, the team's been going in there, and it's been fantastic. And honestly, miracles happen in there. The things we see in there are totally amazing. And it is such an exciting and such a very, very powerful ministry that, there's nothing complicated about it. It's very simple. So it's all about us bringing the light in, and when light comes in, darkness is banished. Darkness has no place at all when light comes in. And so it's absolutely brilliant. And I see an incredible mesh with Cursillo and Terra Portal. I really do. And we come under the umbrella of the whole Cursillo community. And it feels like a perfect match for me, because we're out there, we're right on the front line, we're actually in the trenches when we're in there, and I make no crimes about it. It is a battle. It's a battlefield in there, and it's a fight. We're the frontline troops. So we're fighting actually for the very souls of those prisoners. It is a serious business, a very serious business.
Tell my people I love them. Tell my people that